Polly Toynbee and Talk Radio's Julia Hartley Brewer. Start off talking about the Scripples, I think, Julia, yes?
Yes, absolutely.
It's
obviously,
an amazing
yes.
story, this, isn't it?
Well, 5 weeks on, it is extraordinary. Yeah, absolutely extraordinary. And thank goodness. And thank goodness also for the police officer as well, who could have also possibly lost his life. But it's interesting that the Russians are demanding to meet with Yulia, now she's awake, with the Russian ambassador playing sort of comical alley. We were back to Iraq, Baghdad.
It was very bizarre.
Yes, there's nothing to see here while the bombs are dropping
Boris
behind
is
him.
right.
Well, all
He's
politics
lazy.
requires detail.
Lazy.
Categorical.
He'd spoken to the guy at Porton
But his
Down.
words absolutely categorical.
The handling of, as we know, the handling of sensitive intelligence information is so important.
Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn isn't even given the most sensitive information because he's not. It's not thought.
Well, what's interesting is that Boris Johnson here is trying to put the blame onto Corbyn. It actually, the story has been this week, the idiocy of Boris Johnson.
Look, I absolutely agree. I think absolutely total incompetence, basically spouting Kremlin lines on this issue.
I stand up for him, but just put the other side of the case, which is that in that German TV interview, which is what the Porton Down guy said, so to that extent it wasn't actually a slip. The trouble is, and you're going to tell us about something else the Russians have been up to.
Well, indeed, and again, he says, let's all be terribly surprised at the idea. Oh, are the Russians using chemical weapons? One dead. It looks like I think 70 possibly, and many hundreds more. Again, targeting innocent civilians, children. But these are lessons we learnt lessons from Iraq and Afghanistan of what happens when we do it, when we get involved and get it wrong.
Sunday Telegraph and Amber Rudd talking about knife crime.
The horrors of the recent murders on the streets, acid. And that's all quite sensible.
No, but there are two other big issues. One is total abject failure at schools long ago. We need to be intervening far earlier. They're leaving primary school semi-literate.
I think it's very hard to expect teachers.
There will not be a father in a single one of these homes.
The other big issue here, of course, in terms of tactics, is stop and search. Talking about stop and search.
He's making a point I've been making all week that it's not middle-class white kids who are being stabbed. Well, no, they didn't feel it. It was absolutely the case. I mean, post McPherson and institutional racism. No, but I've spoken to black reverends who get searched every week in their 60s. This sort of street crime is black-on-black street crime. You're going to have to be searching black kids.
A huge U-turn. They're saying we're going to target, which I think everybody thinks that's right, certain areas.
As one of the founder creators of the old SDP, and in that context, for a new party of the centre, pro-European.
It does not allow newcomers in at all.
Politician
How rare. He's a very decent man, Gork, and I think we could have a lot more of that from politicians.
OK, didn't do that, but she wasn't very happy.
I can't think why, because she is one of our great journalists.
But this is the thing, where are you in the gender pay gap? I mean, I just think an awful lot of this is a load of nonsense, totally ignoring people's age, the fact that people work part-time.
The fundamental question of how women are treated and whether having children is something that falls upon women.